Welcome back. Okay, so it's Monday, which means time to talk about the AHL. So player of the week this week is Connor Mackey from the Stockton Heat, thus the Stockton Heat jersey I'm wearing and rocking here. And interesting too with Stockton right now is Wolf. So the future goaltender for the Calgary Flames. He's 9-0-2 with a 935 save percentage. So things are going really well for Calgary, and they're going really well for Stockton too. And so that's good news for the future of the Flames, right? Lehigh Valley. So things haven't been going great in Philadelphia, right? Philadelphia's been kind of a disaster. Well, the AHL level, it's not going much better. There's been injury problems and just poor play getting them to a record of 3-10-4-1. Sandstrom has been a silver lining. They see improvement in him year over year. We'll see whether or not he ends up being an NHL level goaltender in the near future. I know Sandstrom was seen as kind of a write off. I think it was 2 seasons ago. It's hard to tell because seasons just kind of all blend together now. But it sounds like he's had a good year for them. 3-6-3, 900 save percentage. The one concern being that because of injuries, they might be overplaying him a little bit. But Sandstrom's been a silver lining for a team that doesn't have a lot. And Ian LaPerriere, who's the head coach, has basically made no excuses on his own, and he said, "Yeah, we have 5 losses past regulation, but he's more concerned about the 10 losses in regulation." So it's been a rough year in Philly, and it's been a rough year for their AHL team as well. Rochester. So Quinn is still tops in the AHL with 24 points. He has had an incredible start to his career, but JJ Peterka needs some love as well. 17 games, 4 goals, 14 assists, 18 points. Not bad for a rookie on the farm. So again, things for Buffalo look pretty bright in the future. You've got Quinn, you've got Peterka, and they're going to have a pretty decent draft pick in a deep 2022 draft as well. So for the Buffalo Sabres, the good news is the farm's doing pretty well. Abbotsford news. Sheldon Dries has been quite the story in Abbotsford. He's got good hands. I think with Dries, I think it's his size that's kept him out of the NHL lineups. 16 games, 12 goals, 7 assists, 19 points. So, again, it's an argument that we've seen many times over the years. You have players who are best suited to being top 6, who may not be top 6 capable in the NHL, and they may not suit a bottom 6 game in the NHL either. So, they may be really good in the AHL, and they may have trouble actually making it to the NHL. And there's been players throughout history. That's happened a lot. But yeah, so we'll see if Dry's playing well on the farm, if new management and a new look and for the Canucks, if maybe they give him a shot. Because I like Dry's at points during his time in Colorado as well. I wouldn't mind seeing him get a shot at some roster time. They gave it to Justin Bailey. I think they could try Dry's next. Utica continues its amazing run to the season. They're 16-1-1. Both goaltenders, quite the story here. Schmid is now 8-0-1 with a 950 save percentage, and Nico Dawes 8-1 with a 929 save percentage. So Utica is an absolute wagon right now, and that bodes well for the New Jersey Devils. There are some good young kids in that lineup, and both goaltenders are putting up in intimidating numbers, which, with how the season's gone for Blackwood thus far, might be good to have Dawes as that backup as soon as next season. Bernier is a stopgap measure. It's possible that next season we would see Dawes up with the big team. So we'll see. And definitely the numbers being put up by these goaltenders, it's going to force New Jersey's hand. Like, they're going to be realizing either you trade them because you're not planning on using them long term, or you bring them up and you trade out somebody else. The playoff races in the East, there's less chaos than in the West. In the West, you have 9 teams that are either at the 500 mark, which is the same number of regulation losses as wins, or 1 game above or below that mark. So there are a lot of teams that are really close, including Abbotsford team here. They're 7-7-2, I believe. And so, yeah, the run right now that these teams are on, and the playoff race is intense. I know the games get kind of intense as well. The first of the 2 meetings with the San Jose Barracuda was apparently pretty nasty. Yvonne was at that one. That's where they had the teddy bear toss. The game itself, so there was a lot of penalties early. And then that was a game that was lost by Abbotsford. Abbotsford won the rematch. But Yeah, so right now the West is kind of chaotic, and so we'll see which teams emerge as the most likely to actually make the playoffs out of those teams. Manitoba needs an honorable mention here as being 8-2 in their last 10, playing very well. The Moose, obviously a team that it's hard not to root for because Manitoba Moose stuck around even when the Winnipeg Jets came back. I remember the first thought I had when the Winnipeg Jets were announced wasn't just like, oh, good, the Jets are back. That's great. Awesome for Winnipeg. My first thought was, so did they keep the Moose? And yeah, Manitoba 8-2 in their last 10. They're doing very well. We'll see if that continues. And one of the interesting stats I saw today, Wilkes-Barre Scranton, the Penguins, 9.6% on the power play. So while the NHL team has struggled with their power play, understandable with guys like Malkin and Crosby out, etc., the AHL affiliate also having tremendous struggles on their power play, being worst in the league at 9.6%. So it's an interesting number. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Just nice quick look at around the AHL and all of that. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And hey, thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.